Tell me, how did you find your way to this issue? What was your calling that made you? Because I have to say honestly, I mean, there's probably some other names I don't know, but I mean, in the United States, I think you're widely recognized as one of the foremost experts, at least on the economic side of this argument, right? And what kind of drew you into this issue?
Yeah, so before I was a professor, I spent 10 years in environmental consulting, and my job was basically to help clients make their dirty water clean. So I worked for a variety of industries: mining, manufacturing, municipal, different industries that had some dirty water.
As long as it started with the letter M, you were yeah.
Apparently, chemicals and other stuff too. Lots of sugar beet production in Minnesota, it turns out. But yeah, so I was working with industrial clients, and through the 2010s, there was more increasing concern from these clients about PFAS and potential risks and how to manage it. And so that's kind of, I got into actual projects where we were designing systems to remove PFAS from water or from soils. And so that's kind of how I first learned about it. And then, as I mentioned before, when I was working on this project for the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency, this realization of the cost metric and this disconnect between how much it costs to remediate PFAS and how much it costs to make and buy PFAS on the market. And so that's, I think, really got me kind of interested in this question on the economics. And some of my work that I did a couple of years ago was really trying to take that, millions of dollars per pound of PFAS, and if we were to apply that to the rate that we're making and emitting PFAS right now, how much would it cost? And then the takeaway from that is basically, it would cost more than the global GDP to remove PFAS from the environment at the same rate that we're adding them. So that type of...
Say that again?
It would cost more than the global GDP to remove PFAS from the environment at the same rate that we are adding them globally. Yes. So therefore, it is impossible to manage environmental PFAS by trying to remediate. It's like trying to drain the bathtub while you're filling it with a fire hose. It just doesn't make sense to focus on the remediation end of the story and ignore the upstream use and emissions of PFAS, because that's really the problem that we need to be solving, both for our generation and for future generations.